Les Ross, you were out in force at the 2-year-old trials at Doomben. You won 3 of the 5 heats. A good morning's work?
Yes, Nathan, it was nice, but I probably had the most runners, so if you don't win the most trials, you're in a bit of trouble.
We know you like to aim up for these early 2-year-old races. Do you feel like you're in good shape at this stage?
Probably the best year this year is we've done things a little bit different. We'll train them a little bit different this year, but the numbers is the name, and I think I had 33 this year, and that's probably the most I've ever put through, so yeah.
A couple of the ones we saw this morning, they'd already had a trial. Do you feel like they then came on really well from that first trial?
Yeah, well, that's it's all about experience and education, and with the new rule of if you don't trial, you don't race, and if you don't win, you can be balloted out. So we want to make every post a winner, and hence that we were lucky enough to win 3. I would have liked to have won 4 or 5, but anyway.
Could you pick out which one was the most impressive?
Oh, for sure, Mishani Embrace, it's one Mike bred himself. All the Mishani horses, with Mishani in front of him, he actually breeds them on his property. Spanish Angels, it was one he brought, and she'll be a broodmare when she finishes racing, and she'll have progeny called Mishanis. But I thought the Embrace break was probably my best, but Spanish Angels was probably hadn't had as much work as that one, and come from a long way back and really surprised me, hit the line, so she's a nice filly. Mishani Warfare, he's a nice gelding and did everything right and did enough to win, like he sat 3 deep and no cover and finished it off, so he'll probably go to Toowoomba. Mishani Embrace will probably go to Toowoomba and keep the others for in town. That
race at Toowoomba, the O'Shea, the Pat O'Shea, you won that last year, so will you have 2 or more than that?
He said to me early in the year that he only wants to target 2 races per race, and I said, well, like, there's not a lot of 2-year-olds around. If you have a look how many trials there's been, I think today's the biggest number, but there was only 5 trial at Toowoomba last week, and there's only a couple of trial at the Gold Coast the week before, so yeah, I think I've talked him into 4 at this stage.
Oh well, good luck with that. It'd be nice to win that race 2 years in a row and then hopefully set yourself up for a good pre-Christmas.
Yes, for sure, Nathan, that's what it's all about.
Will Hulbert, you brought Heroic Sun to the trials here this morning, ran the quickest of 5 2-year-old heats. That must be let you walk away feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it was funny. I said to the owners I was more nervous for a 2-year-old trial than I was for the Derby with Criminal Defence.
You don't have many 2-year-olds in the camp?
No, he's at one of 2 colts we bought this year, and the other one will need time.
Oh, well, it's a nice start. So where do we go from here?
He'll trial again in a fortnight here, and then back up 5 days later at Doomben on the 2nd of October, and reassess after that.
And with a view to trying to get yourself to a Magic Millions, maybe?
Yeah, try and get enough money to qualify early now to ease the pressure come January.
He's a son of the first crop stallion Heroic Valor. What attracted you to him at the sales?
Some clients of mine actually owned a small share in Heroic Valor when he raced, so they were keen for me to look at them. And I was underbidder on 3 of them before I landed on him, so I'm glad I got this one.
Oh, well, it's a nice way for him to kick off anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Matt Hoysted, we saw Merrily this morning. She looked pretty impressive winning the last of the 2-year-old heats.
Yeah, she's a really sharp filly. She's from day one, since she sort of come into our system, she's always been one that's very forward, and one that we've really had a nice opinion of her. So it's good to see her come here today and do everything right and be as impressive as she was.
She's by a stern, and as you say, she did everything right, railed, and then put a margin on them in the straight.
Yeah, definitely. She's a filly that's, as I said, very forward, and it's just a matter of probably making sure she can harness that speed early. So it's good to see her relax early. As I said, she's a nice Astern filly, out of a stakes-winning mare, Merriest, who obviously Danny O'Brien had, that was a really nice and early-running mare. So she's always given us those signs that she'll go early, and it's really good for Malcolm and Michelle Petrosky, who bought her at Magic Millions.
Speaking to Bailey Notiff, who rode Merrily, he's also taken by one of the colts you started earlier in the session.
Yeah, Palazzo Spirit is a really nice Spirit of Boom colt, very similar to Merrily. They're both very forward, and they've done a lot of their work together, and to be honest, there's probably not a great deal between them, both very forward. So look, again, he was the ultimate professional today, and went to the trial, virtually 3 of them went across the line together, and Bailey still had plenty in hand. He just sort of run up on the bridle, so look, he's really impressed with how he's gone, and look to see him trial again in 2 weeks' time. We'll probably just ask him for a little bit more of an effort.
Right, and we'll likely then see the pair of them race sometime early October.
Yeah, correct. Possibly just see how they come through. Possibly Palazzo Spirit may go that first one at Doomben, and then Merrily may wait for the fillies division at Eagle Farm the following week.
It's an exciting time of year, isn't it? You do all that hard work through the first half of the year buying these yearlings, and now you get to find out what your selection process was like.
Yeah, well and truly. Look, it's this is what it's all about, isn't it? Looking into your future. Hopefully, good horses in the stable, and it's always these first early 2-year-old trials are always really great, and really looking forward to over the coming weeks more stepping out.
Cheers, mate.